Hey, plumbing bros. Welcome to Potty Talk Live, where we take it into the trenches, the crawl spaces, basements, kitchens, and baths, all around this big, beautiful world of ours to talk to plumbing professionals just like you. Hey there, I'm Richard Behney, the $1 Million Plumber, coming at you live from Command Central here in beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana, USA, where this weekend we have a big event coming on this weekend. We have the Indianapolis 500 coming up. That's a big thing here in our town. Has been for some years. Yep. All right. Yeah, here the lovely Laura's next to me over here.
Great biggest spectacle in racing.
The greatest spectacle in racing. Hey, it's pretty cool. You know, we're pretty proud of it. Hey, if you've never been, it's worth checking out, just being part of there. I know you've probably watched it on TV before, but it is really cool when you're there. You know, you can feel it. You know, they say it's like a launch of the shuttle. Have you ever got to experience something like that? Hey, being at an Indy 500, you know, it's pretty cool. So, hey, so that's what we have going on here. Hey, what do you have going on where you're at? Let me know. Put it in the comments. Let me know what's going on where you're at. Hey, we got a cool cat out of Austin, Texas. In fact, before we started here, the lovely Laura reminded me a cool hot cat, because it's hot in Austin, Texas. So, hey, we're going to have him up here shortly, Mr. Mason Ahrens, co-owner of All Around Home Services and Iconic Plumbing. There we go. Hey, cool logo there. Nice logo. Like that. Different colors, orange, very legible, you know. Design is very important. Hey, for you guys out there, there's a lesson there. Take a lesson already there from Mason. You know, there's a nugget of gold there. Design is very important. You know, how your logo looks, how your materials look that you hand out, how your website looks and how it feels, okay? Those things are extremely important. And I know, you know, we're plumbers, all right? I get it. We're plumbers. We're not graphic designers. That's why the lovely Laura and I, we always use Design Crowd to create our graphics, okay? With, Design Crowd, you get, all your graphic needs taken care of under, like you have your own graphic design department under your roof. And, without all the extreme cost. And it's extremely easy. You know, you simply create a brief, and I always like it. They call it a brief. You know, that's just a hoity-toity way of saying create a job, but you create this job, you tell them what you want to have done, and then you'll start receiving unique designs from around the world within hours. Then you simply select and approve your favorite design. It's that simple, that quickly and that simply and that inexpensively. You have a top-notch professional design for the fraction of the cost. All right. Simply go to www.themilliondollarplumber.com/design crowd to get started with your design. All right. Because you're a professional plumber. You should look like it. You should look like our guest. I can't wait to get our guest on here, Mr. Mason Ahrens, who's co-owner of All Around Home Services and Iconic Plumbing out of Austin, Texas. Hey, Mason, you ready to rock Potty Talk Live?
Yes, sir. Very happy to be here. Thank you.
All right, brother. Hey, I'm glad to have you here. As we were talking before, it's hot there in Austin, Texas, huh?
It's like walking through a hot cloud.
There we go. I don't know how you guys do that. I talk to my Aussie friends or whatever, and I just don't know how you guys in that hot weather can, plumbing's rough enough as it is, but man, all right. Hey, before we get into the plumbing talk, I want to hear, you got some cool stuff going on, with Iconic Plumbing and your, All Around Home Services, company. Before we get into that though, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do when you're not plumbing?
Oh, really? Just try to stay by the lake, kind of just plan my days and, goof around a lot, do a lot of goofing around here, just shenanigans and stuff,
There we go.
Sometimes we have a big train horn. Sometimes when people speed by going real fast, we train horn them, stuff like that to be cantankerous.
There we go. All right. Yeah, just sounds like fun, man. Well, on the plumbing side of things, so, how did you get into plumbing? Let's get into that because you got some cool things happening. How did you get into plumbing?
Oh, I was traveling through the Midwest working on grain elevators as a welder and metal fabricator. And, but I ended up being with this girl and it was hard to travel after a while. And so I just wanted to sleep in my own bed. So I started up in Kansas at Roto-Rooter, out of Abilene, Kansas, out of Chapman, Kansas. And ever since then, I just took to it. I liked running the equipment. I liked running pump trucks and track hose. And, I got way into that. setting septics back in the day. Now they separated down here, but you know, it's a separate deal here for septic stuff. But you know, I like the equipment, I like the money, you know, and so sleeping in your own bed is a benefit too.
There we go. Yeah, that's a nice thing too. You know, and it is a great opportunity. That's, you know, we talk about that. You know, there's never been a better time to be in the plumbing industry, in the plumbing field, the plumbing trade, and to be a plumber. And, you know, there's all kinds of opportunity to, you know, have a career and to make money, you know. And so what got you, so, you know, you got into plumbing, but, you know, you started your own business. So what was your, you know, your aha moment, or, you know, the tipping point that said, yeah, hey, I'm gonna do my own thing?
You know, I just got tired of, you know, like say, I didn't like being on call. I don't feel like you have to work all day and then be on call at night. And like everybody, like when you're a good plumber, what you'll find out is you're the one that works, and then the guys that are usually like the B team, usually, you know, they'll abuse you if you're on the A team, and they'll run you till you die. But, you know, these other guys, you know, getting disposal calls, you know, I mean, I just kind of got tired of it. I just always wanted to be the owner. I mean, I just always needed to, you know, to have that going on. So
there we go. Hey, for you other owners out there listening, you know, Mason just dropped a nugget of gold there about, you know, you can only put the spurs to the horse, you know, so many times, you know, after a while they start bucking.
I had an 88-hour week one time, and it was so hot down here, and so we do water heaters in attic. Like yesterday, we did 2 water heaters in a second story attic. And I mean, I don't even know if it's like 170 degrees up there, 130, I don't know, but it's so awful. But my body ended up cramping up on me. Every bit of my body cramped up. And I called my boss and I said, I'm sick, I'm not coming in. I finished my on-call. I did full on-call. I didn't let nobody down. But when my body, I almost thought I had to go to the hospital. Even my fingers wouldn't move. And it was because I got way too hot too many times. And I called my boss, and he was giving me the business. So I said, you know what? You can come get the truck, or I'll bring it to you when I'm feeling better. You know, and if you want it now, you're welcome to come have it. And I just quit. And I was like, I've had it, you know.
Man, that's tough stuff. Man, I've had buddies drop over, you know, on that kind of stuff, you know, working out like that. Man, but I can't imagine being down in there at heat and working like that. So when you started your, you know, your business, and, you know, what's one thing that surprised you? You know, okay, you took the jump, you got in the ring, but once you got in the ring, what surprised you?
The fact that I have a lot of, like, I know everybody's got different, you know, beliefs, obviously. What really gets me is that I have a lot of faith in God, and having that faith was really scary, like not knowing if the phone's going to ring. But I just realized that if you just have the faith, it literally just happens. And, you know, it's like some days we don't have a whole lot of calls, and then some will drop in on me. I'm like, what a blessing, you know, here it is. And you're wondering what's going to happen tomorrow, because how do you know that nobody's going to call for 2 weeks? You know, so anyway, I had to quit advertising, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, because I was overwhelmed out here. And I used to have other guys working here, and that's when I really made a ton of money. But after that, I just started cherry picking jobs, because like I say, now we can take on anything with Jimmy in the mix here, and Bishop. We have such a structure now that it's like it's just like it's overwhelming the way Jimmy and his family, you know, Bishop, all his guys. It's such a family thing that I feel like I've been adopted. So like I just feel like, you know, I feel like Jimmy's my brother, and Bishop and all those guys, you know, and it really is a strong bond. Like it's stronger than I give it credit for sometimes. And like being that they have their office staff and everything there, and then Veronica, Jimmy cares about people, and like he wants Veronica to come here and run the books instead of her getting up at 4 a.m. every day and working 6 days a week. He wants her to come and help us here to build it up more. So it's really coming together. It's just, you know, very trusting people with nice families. So it couldn't be better. It couldn't be a better fit, you know.
And that's cool how that worked out there for you. And you know, I got an amen from the lovely Laura over here. You know, you guys, you know, that are just starting out too. It does seem like that. It can be pretty scary. You don't know when the call's going to come in, and if the phone's going to ring, and you just got to keep swinging, you know, and moving forward. And then all of a sudden, you know, the calls are coming in, and, you know, we always call it, you know, when the buffalo's running, you know, you got to be hunting then, you know, the buffalo are running, so you got to get what you can get. And, and you just got to go with it. You just got to go with the flow, you know, man, that is so true. Well, Mason, how did, if you don't mind sharing a little bit, how did the relationship come about with, Iconic Plumbing, Jimmy and the boys?
So that's one thing that's that's a really good question, because I don't know if you know how much the Outlaws means to certain people. Like, it's really, people care about each other. Everybody cuts up like crazy. It gets overboard sometimes. I get it. Like, everybody starts to know each other and know how we're all built. And so none of this would have ever happened in any fashion or manner without it. So, like, we've already done all the have you seen the meetups that we've done, like Vegas, and then we did one here in Austin, and there's going to be another one soon. I mean, how many thousands of dollars of revenue that, like, especially with Jimmy running around spending money like water. But, I mean, everybody's traveling. I mean, it's just good. It's good for the economy, and it's good for everybody to have this friendship, and like I say, I would have never met these guys ever without it. None of this would be happening, not one bit. And so it's got to be so, like, and then when these other guys are finding jobs in other states and moving there, and they would have never probably, I mean, some of it might have happened, but I'm betting that a lot of it would never happen. And so, I mean, it's really meant a lot to a lot of guys and ladies.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And, it's good to be with folks. In fact, Jimmy just posted a comment. Jimmy is poor. Everything you got going on, and but you're not poor in character or friends. It sounds like as well. So you got brothers. So, that's good stuff. And we talk about the importance, don't we? With our crews and stuff. And
it's amazing, the internet and the plumbers
agreed
can interact with.
And that's what the lovely Laura's saying. It's just amazing with the internet, which is cool that plumbers can interact with plumbers all over. And you can find your tribe, so to speak, and you can get support, and and it's just important to have a tribe, to be in, with a tribe to get hooked up that way. And we're kind of what's the saying? We're kind of the average of the 5 people we hang around, so, if you're with a good tribe that's working and moving forward and doing good things and supportive, that you kind of get caught up in it. That's a good thing. And that's what it sounds like the Plumbing Outlaws are,
It's amazing. It's really amazing. And, like, also I would like to say that I forgot to mention Jimmy's dad, Alex, coolest dude I know. Also, I forgot to mention him. He's just a great guy. I'm sure he would be a nice guest to have sometime.
We saw his picture. Yeah, we had Jimmy on, and I think we had his picture with his father, didn't we have? Yeah, it looked pretty cool. So I bet there's a story there. Jimmy's one of 12 brothers and sisters. Did you know that? No, I didn't know that. I didn't come out. There's more of him? Yeah, the lovely Laura said, there's more of him? Look out, world. I know, it's a cool story there. I love talking with any, look, I get asked, so, first of all, I get asked, Richard, are you really a plumber? Well, yeah, I've been plumbing for 30 years and been all this and done all that, whatever. But, so what's your agenda? And my thing is, I love the stories. Man, Mason, I love talking to you. I love talking with Jimmy. I love talking with T-Rex. T-Rex just commented.
T-Rex.
Guys all over the place. It's just everyone. And I love talking with guys who have the guts to get in the ring and, get in business. Business is tough. Plumbing's tough. Business is tough. And you just made a comment earlier about how, doing these things, it helps the economy, and it's giving people jobs and it's just a good thing. And I just, it's my privilege. That's my agenda. I just, I get to hang out with you guys, I get to say, I know Jimmy, I know Bishop. Now I know you, I know T-Rex, And
you'll have to come to one of our meetups.
Hey, I'd love to if the guys will have me.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Those guys look a little rough here. I have to.
Somebody got to keep us out of trouble. You get a bunch of plumbers together, and especially me, get a little rowdy.
Yep. Yeah. We're well, yeah. The lovely Laura said, yeah, we're well aware of that. You know, we got those, we got the rednecks up here amongst where we're from. So I can say I'm a redneck, so I can say it. I'm a redneck, so I can say it. All right. Hey, well, what's Mason? We'll get a little. You know, you're being transparent and all, but you know, we all struggle with something. You know, with our businesses. You know, what's something that you struggle with?
What I struggle with is selling jobs that I can't back up because, like I say, like with my back and things like that, I couldn't even touch the water heaters the guys put in yesterday anymore. I can't even deal with that. Like stuff like, you know, stuff that bothers me. I don't know. Anytime there's any negativity at work or like anytime there's an issue with a customer and they might not be thrilled with us, if they're not thrilled with us, then I'm not satisfied. I want people to, you know, the only way we stay alive is with referrals. And so what I do and what I recommend to any plumber that wants to keep it going is I tell people, I mean, everybody's going to have their way that they say and talk, but I always tell them it's such a blessing for us to have your work. And so like if your friends need anything, please, we'd love to help. And I mean, what that does is then they start thinking, oh gosh, yeah, I got to put it out there. This guy was cool. You know, these guys that walk in houses with their shoes and don't put shoe covers on or, you know, or kick their shoes off and stuff, like I don't think that's a great idea. I think you should have shoe covers. Babies live on the ground and nobody knows where a plumber's been. And then the other thing is maybe spend enough time letting the customer talk to you. Like when you're making options for them, like, wait a minute. So we're looking at how many children do you have? Oh, I have 4 kids. Oh yeah, 4 kids. That's cool. Are you going to live here for a long time? Or do you think you might, you know, are you going to, because the more I know about what you're doing in life is the better I can come up with options for you, you know, that makes sense for that family and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of ins and outs on everybody's doing their own thing, but spend the time to let them talk to you a little bit so they drop their walls. Because, you know, when you go to a customer's house, they're going to have a little wall up just like I would if I can't do AC. I can't buy Freon. So I'm going to have a little wall up. Is this guy going to try to retire on my job? You know, I don't know.
Right.
So you always got to, you know, I'd say spend the time to make them lower their wall. And then once you're in it to win it. Like they're not going to call somebody else next time.
That is so good. You know, Mason just dropped, you know, a bunch of, you know, golden nuggets there. I mean, I hear, you know, and talk to guys all the time, you know, the SEO is a big deal. I mean, you know, there's that side of things, but guys are relying too much on the SEO. And Mason, just like you said, it is the referrals. It's the relationship. It's building that relationship and doing the things that make that customer feel comfortable. And, you know, once you build that relationship, you know, there's plenty of work and, you know, you can build your customer base, and it is that simple. I shouldn't say, you know, I consult, so I don't want to lose my consulting clients because that's one of the things I do is that is on the business side. But when you know, I talk about selling, you know, we get in that kind of thing. I always say, you know, don't sell, excel at serving your customers, and it's just what you explained. I mean, that's what you need to do. Excel at serving your customers, and you know, they're gonna pass you on and refer you, you know, thing. So. Yeah, Jimmy has a question here. Ask Mason how many questions he missed on his master's test.
What did I get? Was it 98? Did I get a 98 on my master test, I think? It blew my mind. I was surprised to hear I got 98%. I mean, and, you know, you're talking to a guy that did not. I got expelled my freshman year of high school, and I went back a little more my sophomore year, and then that's the only reason I didn't have my master's 20 years ago is because of the darn GED. So I went back and I got my diploma through correspondence, and then I finally went. So I had my tradesman, then I went back, got my diploma, then I got my journeyman. Then they make you wait 4 more years after you get your journeyman to take your master's test, and so I finally just buckled down and got it all done. I should have done it so long. Like these guys that are waiting, I'm like, just jump in there and do it. If you're afraid you're going to fail the test, pass 2 out of 3 parts, take the 1 part again. If I can pass these tests, you guys are going to do fine because, you know, I don't consider myself to be extra special or anything. I just common sense stuff, you know, old farm boy, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's threaded pipe, you know, I mean, it's whatever it is, you know, and I don't do new construction. That's not my background. I just wasn't into it. But repair plumbing, like I know there's kind of 2 ways to go where you can be well-rounded at everything, but I've always preferred the repair stuff. You know, I don't like to see the same job all day. I'm kind of ADD. I want to move.
There we go. Yeah.
You know?
That's That's how I am. Same kind of a thing. And, I advise guys just with that, it's good to know, kind of have a feel for everything, but to really, truly make money at this game, this plumbing game, you really need to kind of be an expert, in one lane, and just pick that lane and just do really well. Take care of those customers in that lane and just have that lane and work that lane well. And you're right. I mean, I talk to these young guys, we all come from kind of similar backgrounds where it's, we barely make it through school. We're not necessarily geniuses. And look, plumbing, there's a lot to plumbing. I mean, you're not a dummy and be able to the fact that you did well, you're not a dummy, brother. None of us have done that, make it through that testing. You got to have something up here, but that's that experience. It's just that experience. And the same kind of a thing. I'll be honest. I think with my master's test, there's one segment I didn't pass. I think right off the first time. I think it was the drawing or whatever. I didn't get a 98. I said, so man, way to go. So
it blew me away. I didn't.
Way to go, brother.
I was leaving there going, oh God, I hope I passed.
I know, hey, we all feel that. Hey, you got other guys that are watching, hey, we got a cat that's been around the block. I mean, he's a tough guy. Knows his stuff here, and you admit, hey, you little, we're all, when we get in that situation, we're all a little nervous, none of us like to take the test, and, you just see it through,
So many guys are like scared to go and do it because they're scared to fail. They're scared that their friend passed it, and if they don't pass it, they're going to say, oh gosh, I feel like I'm dumb compared to this dude. And it's like, it really is kind of like that. It's kind of like they don't jump in there because, oh, so-and-so passed it, and if I don't pass it, I feel like I'm going to jump off a bridge or something, and I get it. But it's just work through it, and then, you say you can take it again. And then you'll know more about what the test is like.
Exactly.
But...
And, it's, I get the guy thing, that's part of it. We're all guys, and a lot of us are doing this, the type A guys, and, we want to be all that or this, and it's embarrassing not to do so well on everything. But hey, just stick with it. And yeah, you don't have to be, the doctor who was the lowest doctor in his class, when he passes, he's still practicing medicine, and it's the same with, with your license. So man, just, stick with it. So, hey, we have Corey. Corey says, awesome exam, was, intimidating, but facing that fear was, one of the best things I've ever done. Yeah, that's right, Corey. Way to go.
Is that Corey Page?
Yeah.
Corey Page.
Corey Weaver. Sorry, man.
Oh, Corey Weaver. So like, what was lucky for me is they changed the rough-in because they used to have the, what was it, like a 3 or 4 story dollhouse that you had to plumb with fake pipe and everything and like little fittings and do all that. Well, they let us draw it now, and I'm so glad because I really would have struggled with that, the fake rough-in with that. Like I did it on my journeyman test and my tradesman, but, I was like, oh, thank God I could draw this real easy and, be done. Instead of sitting there, for hours on that house.
Yep. Yeah, I tell the guys, these young guns, man, take the test and do it. It's a good career. It's a good career. You get that license and you can go anywhere. You can kind of write your ticket, and that's all right here. Hey, well, I'm going to let Mason catch his breath here. And hey, got a question for you guys. Hey, are you got, as we're talking about it, you got your plumbing license? Get your plumbing license. If you don't, get your plumbing license. Hey, and you got a plumbing truck and you got your plumbing dream. Okay, you got a plumbing dream. Well, it takes a little bit more than those things here. It's great you have that, jump in the ring. Hey, but there's 7 things you got to know to be successful in this plumbing game. All right, I call it the 7 must knows. The 7 must knows to be $1 million plumber, and I put that all together in a free report for you. All right, it's free. Simply type "free" in the comments, FREE, and I'll get that report out to you. It's that simple. You got to know these things, and all right, it's free. No strings attached, no catch. Get it out to you. All right. So, also got another question for you. Customers are important, right? You're trying to get customers. We're talking about getting customers. And once you get the customers, the last thing you want to do is, have them double booked or, you drop them or, say you forgot about them. That's not good customer service. And they're probably not going to be referring you, Those are customer killers. And, hey, you can forget all about that with Jobber plumbing service management software. You can get rid of those customer killers. Jobber makes it easy for you to schedule your customers to dispatch all of your calls and to keep track of your guys. So as you're growing, it makes it easy for you to keep track of all that. Jobber even makes it easy for your customers to pay you. And that's what I'm talking about, because that's the name of the game. If you don't get paid, if you ain't making money, it's a hobby. And this ain't a hobby, right? I think Mason would agree with that. With Jobber, you save time, you save money, you save customers. And right now, you can try Jobber free for 14 days and receive 20% off your first 6 months. Just simply go to www.themilliondollarplumber.com/jobber to get your free 14-day trial and 20% off your first 6 months of Jobber. You and your customers will be glad you did. All right, let's get Mason back in for the lightning round. All right, he's going to have some huge nuggets of gold on this. I just know it. So listen up here. Hey, you guys can play too that are watching here. Hey, nice logo. All right, let's see that. Let's see that logo again. There we go. All right. There we go. That looks sharp. I like those colors. When we were talking about that when we had Jimmy on, and I like those colors. That green is doing something different like that. That's pretty cool. All right. Yeah, you don't see that very often. That stands out. All right. Hey, we'll get to it. I'm sorry, little rabbit trail there here. Hey, first question for you. What was holding you back from starting your plumbing business? I think
not having a master's or a master's to use at the time.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing. So what did you do about it? What was your kind of?
I actually got creative and got a guy to get his and talked him into it. And then I was paying him just monthly to use his. And then, he worked at a company and I'm like, all right, I'll just use your master's and I'll be over here. Then they found out and he fired him and he came over and started working for a while, but he he wasn't a very good plumber. So I just couldn't have him around. I was like, you got to go. I found another guy. Then I leased his license for the longest time. And then finally I got tired of paying somebody else. So I just buckled down and went and did it.
There we go. I was going to say, I was going to ask you, is that what got you to, was that your tipping point at that problem, that got you buckled down to get it taken care of? All right. Hey, Mason, share a personal habit that sets your day up for success.
Just trying to figure out how I can make a job better. How can I, if there's a job going on, I just want to know what can we do to make it the best thing that there is, maybe. Mm-hmm. Just the best service, everything. All right.
Hey, I'm just going to go off sidetrack because I do this. Do you kind of visualize your day, like before you get going? You kind of visualize, kind of what could happen on this job and what this job, and how do you tackle, or do you just take it a job at a time?
What's kind of lucky for me, I kind of have a skill set for thinking ahead of the jobs and already knowing exactly to the part what it's going to take, because all these houses are the same. They're like a fingerprint, but they're a little different. But I already know every part, and so we are so efficient. When we get to a job, we're not driving around for parts. It's going to be on that truck. And I'm not really overbuying, but we have a really nice stock. And that just, efficiency for me is like the biggest thing that I do is plan way ahead. I look at these jobs when I'm at the parts house. I'm already thinking about 4 jobs ahead. What am I going to get right now for this? And I think that's something that we all should concentrate on more. When you work for a company, a lot of the guys like to what they call milk out jobs. Okay, right. I want to get over here. Oh, I don't have a Kohler flapper on my truck, even though, I do a lot of with my customers because they know me, and I know that once we have a dialogue through texting, I'll say, to help me be more efficient for you, can you send me a picture? Because these new phones are like you're standing there. And they're like, yeah, cool, because these other guys, they come out, all you do is talk to the dispatcher. They don't want you talking to the plumber. So then the plumber gets there, doesn't have a part, drives clear across town. When he could have sent a picture, he just drove right by that place. So the customer becomes a victim. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways of looking at it, but I think efficiency for us is really good. Like where we work, it's like usually a lot of the people both work, but some of the wives just, stay home with the kids or whatever, and they don't really want to see you any extra times that they don't like. They have stuff going on too. It's not just us, So to be fast and efficient, I think they don't mind paying flat rate because it's like, look. Anyway, I go on and on, but
no, that's you lean right into it, Mason. And you guys are listening. I hope you're listening to the Mason there, because just a lot of no wonder he got a 98 on his master's test, because there's a lot there. We ran our business that way too, where we had stock on the trucks, but we didn't overstock, because man, this overstocking can kill you. And I always called it going to the candy store. You guys go to the candy store and hanging out there, and we're always training and teaching to look ahead in the job on what you think could be there, because we have it at the shop. So before you go start in your morning, you're looking at your set of jobs and what you have lined up right then, and then, you can pull from the shop that way. And then we're restocking that way. So man, that's so good. And then the next question I was going to ask you, are you a flat rate or time and material guy? And I think you led into that. Well, flat rate, if you're efficient, winds up being very good for both the customer and you, right?
Very good, very good. I don't even get. Okay, I'm glad you said something about that, because I really cannot comprehend time. So there's going to be a time in somewhere where you're going to have to do time material. I mean, that's going to come up someday. But the fact is, though, how are you going to? Okay, so like me, I don't waste a step when I'm on a job. I'm carrying, I just get it. I mean, I get after it, and I'm too, if I was hourly, I'd be broke. But then you have guys that, some guys smoke cigarettes out in the truck and they get on the phone. Like when you're on a job, like getting charged time material, what if that guy picks up his phone? I'm kind of like, oh, wait a minute. So you're charging me what? I don't know. What is your hourly rate? Like around the country, some guys are probably at 100. Some guys are probably at 250 or 300 an hour. I don't know. But what about that guy that gets a phone call from his wife and, he's out drinking coffee and then he takes half an hour to write up the paperwork and you're sitting there stressing the whole time like, hey, man, what's this guy doing? Like when I give a price up front, it doesn't matter if something goes wrong and it takes me longer, it's on me, but it's not going to happen like that most of the time. So
exactly. We find that, and there's a big conversation kind of, time and material versus flat rate. And they'll blame the flat rate guys, for overcharging. Hey, but you're charging, for all of your hours, you're counting for all of your time. Right now I'm doing a workshop on that. But it's, you're counting for all of your time, and that allows you to give that's even more honest, because you're able to give an honest price to the customer, and the customer knows up front what it's going to take. And then it takes the stress out of, are they spending too much time at their truck and this kind of a thing. And, and you're right. If the job goes south and you try to work at it, there are times when a job goes south and you kind of get, you lose on that job, but that's not, that doesn't happen most of the time. So most of the time you're going to come ahead of the game. And it also allows you to benefit from your experience. Like we would price our water heaters with flat rate. Well, we would take the standard, the average time nationally, which is, just quite frankly, it's just a little over 2 hours nationally to install a gas water heater in a basement. You can get these time study things. And so we'd price out at that. Well, even I was pretty good at it. You get your guys that can get them in an hour. Well, you're turning your time over quicker. You benefit from that, and the customer knows what they're getting charged. And then you provide the value. You got to have that good exchange of value, right? So you got to make sure you provide that value and that service. And this is the things you talked about earlier, man. That is so good, man. Well, Mason, I hope you guys have been watching. I know the Outlaw guys. They know you're good, and we got the Outlaws. We got some Outlaws on here, and I hope the other guys that are part of the live social audience that aren't part of the Outlaws. Mason's thrown down some huge nuggets of gold. And, man, it's been great having you on, Mason. But before I let you go here, one more question. What's the best advice that you've ever been given that you can share with the guys?
Like the best advice that I know of, like, especially for an owner, what my biggest thing would probably be like when something goes wrong and you got guys working for you and something goes wrong with them, maybe, keep calm. Don't yell. Be professional. Be professional. Talk to them about what's going on. Don't flip off the handle and act like a tough guy or keep it professional and just treat them with respect and just work through it, because you're better off most of the time to train and retain somebody than to lose them. So like training and retaining to me is, there's always something's gonna come up, but if you lose a guy, you've lost somebody. If you keep them and retain them, you can try to help mold them to be what you want them to be, or they're going to have their own way of doing things or talking to people. But, I think uniformity is important. Have your job look, I want them to do the toilet parts like I do, so they look exactly the same every job, like stuff like that. I don't know. Stuff, just little things. I'm kind of maniacal. I don't know. I'm overly picky.
That's good to be maniacal. That will equal success.
I hope so.
And that is so good, man. You guys, Mason, just been dropping all kinds of golden nuggets there, man. There's so much there. And Mason, thank you so much for being on the program. Hey, we're going to have you back. You've been good. A lot of good information there. What?
Jimmy and Bishop.
The lovely Laura just reminded me to check the schedule here that are you, Jimmy and Bishop are going to be back. We're going to have you back.
Yeah, can we do 3 people at once?
The 3 amigos are going to be on.
Yeah. I wonder if Jimmy's dad could be there too, I wonder.
Well, sure. Let's do that here if the guys don't mind.
The 4 amigos.
There we go. Man, all right. So we're going to pump. Yeah, we're going to block more time for that. And we're going to have to pump that because, guys, we get these guys on all kinds of good information, there and huge. It's going to be a whole gold mine of information. It'll be huge, huge. All right. Well, Mason, hey, it's been fun. Hey, we look forward to having you on and seeing you again here then very soon, with the others there. And, man, wish you the best. All right.
Thank you guys very, very much for having me, and I appreciate it. And I like what you guys do, man. This is just neat stuff. Really neat stuff. So really good.
Hey, thank you for those words, man. Appreciate it. All right. There we have it. All right, Mr. Mason Ahrens of All Around Home Services with Iconic Plumbing out of Austin, Texas. Man, I like those guys. Hey, if there's any more of you, if any of you outlaws here want to be on the show, come on the show. I'm kind of digging these outlaws. I like all the groups, I don't have any of my favorite groups, hey, I'm in between. I'm kind of like,
They all do have different personalities.
but they do have all different personalities, and I'm kind of digging the outlaws here, these guys. So, hey, if we got an outlaw on, hey, go check us out at www.pottytalklive.com. Can we bring up that graphic? Or just
type that comment. Put me on the show.
Okay. Or we just said, hey, type a comment. Just put me on the show, and we'll get you on there because it sounds. I'd like to hear more about what that group has going on. Hey, and you other groups. Hey, I know you guys are watching. We got them out of UK and Australia, and there's a couple other U.S. groups here. I know we're all different, which is good. That's what makes it cool. That's what makes it so cool. I kind of troll around in the plumbing groups. So just cause I like the guys and hear and see and watch what's going on. And I know we have our differences, and that's all right. That's cool. And each one of the groups have different personalities. So, as you're going, I know some of you are part of multiple groups. And hey, when you're going into these groups, I would recommend, the guy that's listening, you're not part of one of these groups right now, these Facebook groups that we're talking about, like the Outlaws, hey, check them out and then, go in and expect their personality. Don't go in there and try to change their culture and the way they do things. Go in and be part of that tribe, and, find the brotherhood there. But ultimately, we're all brothers, all right? We're all brothers. We're all plumbing bros, okay? So, and that's what Potty Talk Live is all about here. So I love talking to all these different guys and different groups. And, hey, ultimately, we're all brothers. So there you have it here. Also, I just want to make sure, too, I want to get it out to you. My 7 must-knows to be $1 million plumber. Hey, I love you guys. And if you're looking to do your own thing and just want a little, just a little jump, a little head start, there's 7 nuggets of gold in here. You got to know these things. 95% of all plumbing businesses fail. And that's just, that's the facts. That's the facts, Jack. And it's not because they ain't smart or they're not good plumbers. It's just, hey, it takes time to learn the business side of things. And if, a lot of times you can get, you just get ate up before you get a chance to really get going. And that's what happens to a lot of guys. So, but you can get a head start here if you know these seven principles. So simply type free in the comments and I'll get it out to you. All right. And yes, we'd love to have you be a guest on Potty Talk Live. Hey, Potty Talk Live is made by plumbers for plumbers. And hey, you got a story and we'd love to hear your story. So again, go to www.pottytalklive.com. Scroll on down to the Be My Guest button and click it and answer a couple questions. The big thing is, you got to be a plumber. All right, you got to be a plumber because this is what Potty Talk Live is all about, plumbers. So there you have it. All right, great show, great man. Love Mason. I mean, he had a lot of stuff there. Man, he had a lot going there. So good. Yeah. In Austin, Texas. All right. But it's about time to flush this episode of Potty Talk Live. But before I let you go, I want to remind you brother, that you were purposefully and wonderfully created. You were created to do great things. That's right. You were created to do great things. So as always, when you're out there doing your thing, plumb like a champion.